Okay folks, so now we're going to talk about center drilling, alright? So we're going to center drill our workpiece, okay? Now, there's two reasons why we center drill our workpiece. One is to accommodate lathe centers, which is what this is right here. And the other reason is to provide an accurate start for a drill, okay? As far as for speeds for center drilling and end facing, I know we just did the end facing video and I didn't really say what the speed for end facing was. Until you get to the higher grades, you'll be figuring that out later, but until you get to higher grades, you come see me and I'll tell you what speed to run of that, okay? But for center drilling, you want to center drill between 810 and 1800 RPM, okay? So when I look at my selector over here, I have 1000, so I'm going to put it at 1000 because that's between 810 and 1800. You can see 1000 right here, I hope, on the video, so I'm going to go over to 1000 and I kick it up there. Good job. Okay, we're good. So when I go to center drill, obviously I'm going to be using a drill chuck, not the lathe center. So I'm going to reverse the tailstock to take out the lathe center. I'm going to wipe off the new attachment I'm going to put into the lathe. I'm going to wipe out the hole on the outside of the tailstock to make sure there's no chips in there. Then I put this in. If it's loose like this, folks, all you have to do is extend the tailstock out a little bit and then push it in so it stays stuck in there. Alright? Then I'm going to grab a center drill, which is right here. There's two ends on a center drill in case you break one end. A center drill is a very short drill, nice and rigid. Like I said, provides an accurate start for a drill bit. It also accommodates lathe centers. I'll show you in a later video how it accommodates lathe centers when we do some rough turning, okay? So I'm going to put this in the drill chuck, tighten down the drill chuck, and I'm going to tighten it with the drill chuck key right here. Oh, there we go, good and tight, okay? Now there's one thing I want to show you. When it comes time to center drill and you bring this up here, you need to lock down the tailstock. So I'm going to bring this back, hopefully we can see this video here. At the bottom of all the lathes, there's a wrench down here. Let's see, it's down in the bottom right here, and it's for tightening down the tailstock, okay? So what we're going to do is when we look at the tailstock right here, it has a nut right there on it, okay? I hope you can see it, maybe it's shadowed, but if you can't, you're going to tighten this up because we don't want the tailstock to move. Now this is one of the few things in the shop that you don't need to reef on to tighten it up because it's got a taper on the bottom, so it'll pull it right up against the bottom of the ways. So you just need to give it a little snug and that's it. You don't need to lay into it 2 arms and really crank on it. It's one of the only things. There's this and the drawbar on the top of the milling machine that you'll learn in grade 10 are the 2 things I don't want you reefing on, okay? So you just tighten that down just a little bit. Make sure it's good and tight. Now the tailstock doesn't move. This up here, what this does here, folks, is this locks the tailstock. Now I can't even move the tailstock in and out. It's locked. I don't want that because I want to be able to drill. So I'm going to loosen this off. So as you can see now, the tailstock moves in and out. I'm going to bring you over here again closer so we can watch the center drill. Okay, sorry about the movement. Hopefully nobody's going to have a seizure there. Bring this in, okay, so we can have a good look what's going on here. Okay, so you can see the center drill right here, and we're going to center drill it into the end of our workpiece, okay? How far do we go up on the center drill? We go 2/3 of the way up the angled portion. What does that mean? Let me show you real quick before we get in here. So on the center drill here, okay, you can see there's a small nub on the end, and then it tapers down right there in that first taper right here. You want to make sure that you go 2/3 of the way up that tapered portion there. 2/3 to 3/4. It doesn't need to be as precise as everything else in the machine shop. You just want to make sure you get a good angle for a seat for the lathe center, okay? So let's bring this up here. All right, we're going to fire this up. And we're going to bring the center drill in, okay? So you see the center drill is now starting to drill, all right? And right now if I stopped, I am not up to the angled part at all in the center drill. So I got to keep going in. And once I get to about there, I hope on the video you can see there's a slight shine on the outside of the hole there. There's a slight shine on the outside of the hole. You want that shine to be bigger. You want to be 2/3 of the way up the angle part. So Right about there, looks good. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this piece out and I'm gonna show you a little bit closer here now, but you can see, I hope, the center drill. Let me back this off. Back off our tailstock here. Okay, back off our carriage. Open up the vise. And I'll bring the workpiece up, and I hope you can see the angle in there. So there's a small angle on the inside of that, and that's how you can tell you've gone the right depth on the hole. Okay? And that's it for center drilling.